Good morning, everybody. This is Rhonda from Joy's Antique, and I just want to welcome you back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome, and I'm so glad you're here. So today what I want to do is just kind of do a little flip through of this little journal that I made from a broken down old dictionary. The cover had fallen off, so I made a spine, put it back together, and filled it with pages and decorated it. But before I actually get into the flip through, I wanted to add a little eyelet to each the front and the back covers, and so that we can tie it to keep it closed. So I wanted to do that really quick before I go any farther. So I'm just gonna take this and punch a hole, make sure I'm not getting on my pocket here. So I'm gonna go right above that. And I'm just gonna punch a hole in there. So I have this seam binding ribbon that's been dyed that I bought from a lady on Etsy, and I'll link her shop below. I love her stuff. And so anyway, I'm gonna cut off of this so that we can have something to tie it with. I'm going to cut two while I have my scissors. Make sure they're the same length, or close anyway. Doesn't have to be perfect. So I'm going to set those aside while I get my little eyelet. I'm just going to stick that down in there, fasten it on here, like that. So that looks good. So then I'm going to take and flip my book over. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball measure. It's right in here. And so then I'll take my other little eyelet and fasten it. I've got pieces falling everywhere. So then, yep, that's pretty close. So then I'm just going to take my ribbon and I'm going to double it and just loop it through here. Like that. And I think I'm going to flip that around. I think I'm going to go the other way and see how it falls. Sometimes you just got to play with it, because it's kind of different on every project depending on what you're working with. So I'm going to try going this way. See what happens. Yeah, I like that better. That way you have the little, this showing instead of this. And I like that better. Okay, so now we're gonna go to this side and do the same thing. And so, I think I need to go this way, right? I'm getting confused as I go. Yeah. So then we have this cute little tie. And you can either put it in a bow or just leave it hanging. So it just makes a little froofy tie, and I like that. Kind of fits the style of the journal, so going with it. All right, so now I'm going to untie it and go through the inside. Okay, So this is the cover. I have a little tag that says loveliness, the quality of being lovely. It's the definition of loveliness. So, and then I made these little roses just from some scrap pieces of fabric and ribbon. And then here I had this heart that came off of a necklace. And I thought it'd be pretty there with just scraps tied to it. This is a sweet, sweet little dolly. That was like a rectangular shape, a small one. And I just loved it. And it did exactly what I needed it to do for my spine. So, and then also under here, I had a little magnolia doohickey die. And I just love these dies. They're so vintage looking and so sweet. So I cut that out and just layered it with netting. And I like how that turned out. So that's the front. That's the back. I just left it plain and simple. That way you can see more of the cover. And so as we open, we have a little pocket here. These images, these little Polaroid pictures that are going to be throughout the journal, they are from by Boho Love. She has a really pretty kit with these. And then this one is from my porch prints. And I cannot remember this one. I'll have to find it and put it below. So I wanted to put a little bit of dictionary pages in it. Just simply, this used to be a dictionary. So I kept some of the pages and just kind of put them in here. And I wanted this one because it said beautiful and beauty. But I didn't want it to cover up the lady. So I just kind of folded it back so you can still see her. But this right here, I wanted to add a little something to that. And I'm going to do that really quick too. I have this cute little ribbon. This trim, whatever you call it. So I think I'm just going to add it right there. And I'm going to get a little piece of something. Scrap paper. To kind of put under there while I glue it so it doesn't mess up that dictionary page, because it is kind of fragile and I don't want to mess it up. Got a little bit of a shadow. Let me see if I can fix that. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little line of glue right on the edge of that. I had already put a little scrap piece of fabric on the back side just to kind of better like secure it and give it a little bit of stability, because it is kind of fragile. I was afraid it would tear if you played with it too much. So I'm just going to add this right to the edge. Just to give it a little bit extra there. Okay, so there's that. So this will open up like this. It'll also open up like this, of course. Like this. And then we have this beautiful lady at the gate of a garden. I love her. And I will find the link to that. This is some old railroad paper. And I just took a scrap of fabric and glued down the edge. Because this is pretty fragile too. And I folded it up so rather than cutting it off. This is from my porch prints. And then it's just got odds and ends, papers. I did do several little, like 2 to 3 page sections of coffee dyed paper together throughout the book, just so that you have a good place to journal. You know, that's a little bit, just more blank pages. This is a tea bag that I opened up. This is piano paper, really old. Okay, here's another one of those images from by Boho Love. Now this is just a little tag that I think this also came with this kit, maybe. I'm not sure. I will try to be better about putting all that down in the description. But I wanted to add a little something to this tag. So I think I'm going to punch a hole and put a little, actually, I think I'm going to just staple some little scraps to the top. Sometimes I like just doing that. It adds just enough to set it off. So I think I'm just gonna do this and staple it with my little tiny attacher. I love this thing. So that's all I'm gonna do to that, and stick it in there. So let's see if you can see that better. You could add some little something here. And you know me, I may go back and put something there before it's over with. Okay, so then we just have some scrapbook paper. More of this little, it's like an onion skin parchment top paper. Here's some more of those coffee dyed pages. I tried to leave plenty of pages to work with. And then this was an old ledger that I found in my flea market finds, and I just copied it. This is some wallpaper. I love the texture of it. And then, so I just folded it up and made a good pocket. And here's some more of my porch prints. And this opens up to a little letter. So I just tucked those down in there. This was, I have several sheets of this, and they have a hole in them. I think they came out of like a photo book or something. The little insides of the sleeves. So I just coffee dyed them, and then where the hole is, I just tied a little piece of scrap fabric, and I thought that looked cute. You'll probably hear my dog snoring, or actually my son's dog. She's over there just snoring away. There's some more coffee dyed pages. This is another piece of that fabric, and I just put it through there just to add a little softness. Here is some piano paper that I had from an old book. And then here's another image, one of those little Polaroids. Okay, so here's another tag. I want to do something else to this one too. I think I'm going to do, let's see. Maybe I'll just do the same thing, the same elements on it. I think I'll just do that. Because I have some more scraps right here. So I'm just going to wad those up a little bit and stack them and staple. And then you can kind of fluff it out if it's not exactly how you want it. Okay. All right, so we go through the book. There's some really pretty paper from that same kit. Our coffee dyed paper. Another, this is the center of the book. So this is another piece of the dictionary page. More coffee dyed paper. So it's just kind of the reverse of what was in the front. I love when it leaves marks like that. My husband would say, "What are you doing with that? Throw that away." But that just makes it beautiful to me. So here is another My Porch Prints image. She has a lot of really pretty vintage stuff. And then here is the other side of the scrapbook paper, and I just tucked another one of those images in there. This was from a French book I had. And then here's another pocket. That's from My Porch Prints too. This is from By Boho Love. And then here's the other side of the railroad paper, and a pretty little image there that I put in there. That's from By Boho Love. This is My Porch Prints, a little postcard. And so this page was not wide enough to make it a full page, so I just kind of overlapped and layered, added this card here with the Eiffel Tower on it, and then a little paper ribbon that I could put as a tuck. And then in the back, okay, so this was kind of a mistake, but it turned out to be a good mistake, I guess. So when I put in the first signature, I thought I was in the center, and I wasn't. So it ended up way over here. And so I had all this extra room in here. And I still have room. But honestly, that's kind of good because then you can tuck things in there if you want. Or you could even add a pretty something hanging, which that's something else I had thought about doing. I still may do that. But so I wanted to fill the space, but I didn't want to do a whole nother big signature like that. So I thought I would just do some linen paper and make it just blank so that you could add whatever you wanted in it. And I thought it looked really pretty with it, having all of the really aged and rustic and, you know, vintage pieces over here, and then having the clean, pretty linen paper there that we could do whatever we want with. So that's how that came about. So there's several pages of that. And then this is another little pocket, and this is another postcard. So that is all I did so far. Like I said, the only other thing I would do is to add something in this space. But I kind of like that, so I'm not sure yet. But you know, it may just be something that we can just tuck a piece of ribbon with a little charm hanging. So other than that, there's not a whole lot else I would do to it. So I thought it turned out nice. I loved using this old book, the book covers, and repurposing them. Because so many times they get thrown away, and they're just too pretty to throw away. Have too much history in them. And I love repurposing them into something beautiful. So that is my little dictionary journal. And I hope you liked it. I think it turned out really sweet. So I hope y'all enjoyed that, and I hope you have a really good day, and I will see you back here soon. God bless.